when was the first day you attended St. John's School? You entered St. John's School?
Yeah.
First day you entered St. John's School?
That was 29 January 1952.
Initially, what was the student population?
The student population was about 47. And students came from Central region, from Western region, and what may today be West region or whatever they call it.
Oh, that is the Sifi area, Enchi, and all those places.
Right. And a few from Ashanti region.
Oh, okay. What's the strength of the staff?
The strength of the staff was 2.
Only 2 teachers?
Only 2 teachers. We lost our first headmaster, who was Father Binka. He was to come to head the school, but unfortunately he fell ill and he was asked to stay outside the tropics. And he started well. He had his books to open a library and everything, but it was there. So Father Donnelly and one Mr. J.S.B. Kwanzaa were heading the school until after some time Father Bois joined them from Ireland.
What was the curriculum and the course structure then?
The course structure was for general arts. And then Father Donnelly was teaching French and I believe English. He was an Englishman. English. And then Mr. Kwanzaa took on all the other subjects, including Latin, geography, science, general science, and a lot more of the subjects.
Okay, what was the challenges then for students and staff?
The challenges, as I saw it in those days, was that we were a bit diffident in our future, in the sense that we didn't have enough masters, just 2. And we complained, and as a result, we had to go on strike to press home our needs. And this was in October 1953.
October 1953?
1953. But in 1954, we had a lot of masters. We had a lot of masters. Bishop Father, then later Bishop Iswa, was their leader, and then Mr. Otu, Mr. Kwanzaa, Mr. Otu, Mr. Robert Riggs, Robert Bruce, Skello, J.H. Johnson, and then a few others in course of time.
Meaning your strike yielded results?
Yielded results. Strike yielded results. And I took the school to strike. I asked them, we went on strike. We made our case, and then our cases were, there was one old man, Mr. Isuman, who had 3 grandchildren in the school. But he supported us. He supported us that we should go ahead with the strike so that we achieve good results, and that Roman Catholic priests are too despotic. That was the expression used. Too despotic, so we should go ahead. And this H.A. Suman was a very prominent member of the church. In fact, he gave the land for the school.
Wow.
Yes, he gave the land for the school. Yes.
Free?
Free. He was a big surveyor.
Oh.
Yes.
I see. So I was asking the curriculum.
The curriculum was mainly for general arts.
Okay. And what was the course structure?
The course structure. I don't understand what you mean by course structure.
Course structure. How general arts? What were the subjects?
Oh, general arts. We had English, maths,
Biology,
science.
like English.
Yes.
General arts, English, geography, history. Okay.
And Latin.
Latin. Okay.
A Catholic school cannot go on without Latin.
Yes. Yeah. During your time, was there scholarships for students and whatnot?
There were no scholarships for students.
No government scholarship?
No government, no nothing. Because the government, it was not a government-assisted school at the time. So there was no assistance from anywhere.
So, what do the criterion use in selecting students for St. John's School?
You apply, and if you have finished standard 7, in those days it was standard 7, and if you had passed, they take you on in the school.
Okay. During your time, the school houses of residence, where was it?
No, we were all day students. And we didn't have boarding facilities at all.
Okay. During your time, what was the facilities at the school?
Facilities like what?
Administration block. There was no dormitory then. Classrooms and the rest.
Now, we spent the first term in some borrowed classrooms at St. Paul's Church.
Catholic Church at
Secondary. So it was after the first term that we had access to our own school facilities. And in fact, while we were at St. Paul's, the school was under construction by an Italian firm called Kumasi and Brothers. So it was after the first term that we went to the school uncompleted. The buildings were not complete. And the whole place was weedy. And every Wednesday afternoon, the last period of 45 minutes were spent in what the school called manual labor. So
So what was the student facility? No, it was only classroom that was under construction.
No.
Nothing like a soccer field, nothing like a basketball court.
There was absolutely nothing like that. The bare essential for studies was what the school provided. It was after we had left in 1955 that the school blocks, the science block, all those things were added to the school facilities.
Did the Holy Cross Brothers met you at school, or you left before they came?
No, we left before they came.
Okay.
I went to the school after 25 years, and I saw what they had done, and it was very marvelous. Very marvelous. They had done the whole school facilities had changed. I even learned students were enjoying free food from the United States, T-shirts, and all sort of facilities. Okay. And they were having them free of charge.
How was student campus life?
Oh, so, well, you come for classes in the morning, and by 2 o'clock it's finished, and everybody went home.
What was the class hours? 7 o'clock 2 o'clock?
I think, I can't remember very well, but I think it was from 7:30 to 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Because I remember our last period, which was for 45 minutes, and up to run up to 2 o'clock.
Okay. Any entertainment?
Okay, occasionally we had debates, and the debate was held at St. John's Hill.
St. John's Hill?
Yes, near the church,
okay.
The old school.
Oh, where the church is, that's called St. John's Hill?
Yeah, where the Pro Cathedral is today.
Okay.
That is where we had the...
St. John's Hill?
Yeah, no, that is where we had debates.
Okay. The religious life of student then?
Oh, religious life. According to Father Bois, he was not going to force anybody to go to church on Sundays. But you must realize that you were created by God. And therefore, on that level of thinking, you must worship your God every Sunday. Yes.
What uniform did you use?
We used khaki shorts and white top.
Khaki, that is brown?
Something like this.
Okay.
And then top. But I liked using grey buff for my shirts.
Okay. Discipline?
Discipline was very good. And I was making sure as a school prefect to make sure that discipline was above all.
Since during your time, you were all day students, so there was no homing?
No.
They don't homo anybody?
No homoing. If you attempted to do that, you get your sack from the school. I remember one of our mates, Graham, I forgot his name. He tried to homo from one student, and he was sacked by Father Bois.
Okay. Were you doing mining, especially when it came to final year students?
Oh, we're not doing any mining, but there were some bad boys who were hiding themselves in Old Man Akapos coconut plantation, and they were doing all sorts of things there.
Oh, I see. Old Man Akapo. Can you tell us something about Old Man Akapo's Because it seems he's very popular, a very popular person when it comes to St. John's history. Anybody whom you meet will talk about Akapo coconuts.
Yes. Asia Akapo had a big coconut plantation down there. And when students had decided to go for their feast, that is where they spend their time. Waiting for the afternoon when school had closed. Mm-hmm. But they spent a lot of time in Oman Akapo's coconut plantation. They were not just hiding there, they were stealing his coconut. And Akapo also had a small farm where he had planted oil palm, and then he was often tapping palm wine from there. And I tell you an interesting story. One day, a mate of mine came to tell us, the senior students, that Akapo, apart from his coconut, was also tapping palm wine there. And he had gone there to taste it, and it was very sweet, so we should also go. So we went, and then we all tasted it, the palm wine. And the palm wine was indeed very sweet. And we left nothing for Akapo. And then when he came to see, he went wild and rushed to the classroom to complain to Grandfather Swan He said if he saw any of his children in his plantation, he will slaughter him. So, Jakapo, you are a wise man, you are an old man. You've been kind enough to come and inform me that my children are stealing your coconut and drinking your palm wine. But I thought in the same vein, if this was very rampant, you come and complain to me again, rather than slaughtering them. Now let me tell you, if you slaughter them, I'll tell the police to deal with you, and you should be jailed and killed. So we didn't hear anything of Jakapo again.
Oh, I see. During your time, were you having clubs and societies?
We didn't have clubs and societies now.
Any you already speech and prize giving day?
No, we didn't have that.
Was there a student representative council?
No, we didn't have that.
Music?
Music, no, we didn't have. But alternatively, every Wednesday we studied music. And then, I don't know if Mr. Minister felt we were wasting his time, but his patience ran out, and he left us, and then so that he could also go home quickly.
Okay, when sports?
Sports, no.
No football, no lawn tennis, no table tennis,
No,
volleyball.
we played football on the compound, but
no outside competition.
no outside competition. And then you mentioned something also. No. We didn't have those facilities.
Okay, what was the structure of appointment of prefects?
Well, I do not know, but all that I know is that I was school prefect from Form 1 to Form 5.
Wow.
And then some of the boys were rascally. So they are big men, so I don't they are big men today, so I wouldn't want to mention their names.
Okay.
So, and I dealt with them. And then the dean of discipline at the time was Bishop Eswan. And then I matched them to him and appropriately dealt with them. There was an incident of Mrs. Wilkinson, who was teaching the Form 3 students. Yeah, I'll mention somebody's name. Anglo.
Wow. Francis Anglo.
Yeah, I don't know which of the Anglos. And then the lady was angry. She said they had been rude to her. And the lady wanted Father Eswan to punish all of them. And Father Eswan demanded from the lady, what did they do which instituted an offense to you? The woman could not tell exactly what. He said, Mrs. Wilkinson, if you can't tell me, then I'm afraid I can't punish these boys. So that was the end of it.
So, what was the role of school prefect then? You were the senior school prefect.
The senior school prefect was in charge of major discipline in the whole school. And then there were also class prefects. And then the class prefects were elected by the teachers.
Was there an induction ceremony?
Nothing like that.
Okay. Roll call of senior prefect, senior school.
Yes. Roll call.
Okay. What was actually okay? You said there was no sports
No.
activity. We don't go outside for anything.
No.
Did the school competed in any national competition during your time?
No. Our main rivals at the time were Fiji.
Oh, rivals was Fiji then. Okay.
Our main rivals were Fiji. And we did not compete with them in anything, but
They were just rivals.
yes, we looked down upon them.
Okay.
We taunted them that they didn't have good accommodation because it was the government's old hospital, which was allotted to them as a school. That was the old SEKONDI hospital.
Okay. Old hospital.
Before Fiji. Yes.
Okay. During your time at school, who were those of your mates or juniors juniors who became very prominent in society? I know of one journalist. What's the name? He's also from Solpon. Yeah.
Oh, Paul.
PAV answer.
Yes.
Yes. PAV answer.
Paul joined us when we were in Form 4. And he came from St. Teresa's Seminary. And he was extraordinarily brilliant. Before he came, we were the champions of the class, but he overshadowed us. And there was also another student, George Akwa, GHM Akwa. Akwa had come from Agri, and he was much older than most of us. And then they were the champions of the, if I say champions, but their academic performance was much better than ours. For instance, Akwa told me one day, a very good friend of mine, I don't like the 40, 45 and the 50 you have in geography. So I'll teach you how you can get 70, 75, 80, even 90 in geography. And he taught me. He taught me, and after that, I was getting good marks in geography. Paul, I don't know. Paul excelled in almost every subject. And then I remember one occasion, he was my relation. And I saw him weeping, and I asked him why. He said he had 81% in algebra. I said, nonsense. 81% in algebra, so you are crying. What is that? I got 22% in geography, and I'm not crying. So what is it? So he had some encouragement, but it was very brilliant. And one day also, I remember Paul had 97 in Latin. And we had cornered for this one with our papers, and we were asking him. And then asked him why he had run his red ink through this. But we also had Paul's paper with us. So we showed it to him. Father, you didn't cross anything here, and you are giving him 97. Where is that 3%? So I have reserved for his authors. So I won't give Paul answer 100 over 100 in Latin. I'm keeping that for his authors. You know, that was some of us. You know, it was some of us. Some of us were very brilliant. Very, very brilliant.
Even how you have the courage to question why 3% was not added to the script. That
you know, Father Israel was a real daddy.
Okay.
You couldn't go to Father Boa with this kind of nonsense, nor any of the other masters. I think Skelet also you could approach him. But Father Israel was, you know, very fatherly to us, and you could go to him and then ask him those questions.
Yeah. During your time, what would you say about the moral appropriateness of students?
The what?
Moral appropriateness of students.
Oh, I think it was okay. It was okay.
What of excellence?
Oh.
Just like
yes,
PhD answer was extraordinarily brilliant.
Extraordinarily brilliant. But you know, Vincent, Paul was so brilliant that in the 1955 Cambridge School Certificate Examination, he excelled in the whole of West Africa. Wow. As a result,
1955.
The whole of West Africa. So, as a result, he had a scholarship by Elder Dempster Alliance. They gave him a sea trip to London or Britain for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then there was also a lady from St. Monica School called Adai. I've forgotten the first name. So the two of them had a sea trip to Britain.
Wow.
Paul excelled. And then also had 6 form bursaries in St. Augustine's. Yes.
The St. John's was not having 6 form.
No. In those days, to get entrance to continue with a 6 form bursary, you must do exceptionally well. And so, Aqua, the man who taught me geography, and Paul had a chance to go to St. Augustine's.
Okay.
But I do not know if Aqua followed it up. But Paul went to St. Augustine's for his special. Aqua was my very good friend, but he was too frivolous at times. Very brilliant boy. He said when he finished school, he was going to be a train guard, you know, and then shouting in Sioux, Takwa, bring your tickets, you know, that sort of thing. Then later on, he sent a message through Paul to me that he had decided to go into a profession whereby he can enjoy leave every 3 months. What did he mean by that? Then when we met face to face, he said, "You are stupid. If I say I'm going into an employment where I'll get leave every 3 months, I mean I'm going to teaching. I want to teach. Your father is a schoolmaster, so you didn't know that every 3 months your father goes on leave." Then he went to Winneba. Sesamo, he had had a Sesamo. He had wasted his time trying to be a train guard. You know, very extraordinary, brilliant man. You know, so we went to Winneba, and after that, you know, He was extraordinarily brilliant. Studied on his own to go to Cape Coast University. When he missed St. Augustine's, he went on his own to go to. He was a very funny man. I remember, I don't know if you were abreast with this. We had something called Silver Convention in 1978.
Tell me about Silver Convention.
Silver Convention, I'll tell you later on. It was a big congregation of old boys.
Wow.
Big congregation of old boys. We were spending one of our anniversaries. Oh, it was a big function. So most of the students were agitating that we should make Aqua the schoolmaster, the headmaster of the school. And Paul and I said no. Aqua is a very good friend. You can recommend him for the headship of the school, but he's too frivolous. And then we suggested somebody who was a junior, one Dennis York. Dennis York was teaching at St. Augustine's at the time. Dennis was equally brilliant, but he was not our mate, he was our junior. And that Dennis could be a good headmaster for the school. And then his mates also said, no, you two was too soft. And we said, but we wouldn't want Aqua to spoil our school. Meanwhile, there was a headmaster there who was spoiling the school. I've forgotten his name. But he had a nickname, Okra. He was stealing things from
the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it not Griffin? No. I've heard the name before.
What is Griffin?
No, I had somebody like that was stealing from.
So you said, oh, this one, no. No, you will allow him to come. But my good friend, Aqua, was very frivolous. Very, very frivolous. I'll give you a good example. One day I was going to Nigeria. I met him. And he came to my car and asked me where I was going. I said I was going to Nigeria. He said, then let's go. I can give you a lift. So you haven't stopped with this, your nonsense. You are not going to any Nigeria and say. Then I had my cousin, my aunt's daughter, with me. He was going to Fiditi. And then so I said, ask my little sister. He will tell you. Then he asked me and said, yes, we are going to Nigeria. At least going to make some shopping and then. So we take you there. Once you have said it, then I'll sit in this car. Otherwise, from here alone, I would accept it. He sat in my car and we were going and after the Togo border, he said, so actually I want to Nigeria. Don't you have brains to absorb what I told you? I'm not a joker. If I was joking in those days, these days I'm not a joker. I'm going to Nigeria. So I dropped him at Abiyokuta Junction. So, foolish boy. I hope one day I'll get this right from you again. Thank you for calling me foolish boy. But I like it. So that is our friend Aqua.
And this brings to where students help us, just like you said, Aqua helped you to get good marks in geography.
Yes.
What about the other students? Were they helping each other?
I was very friendly with him. At times we slept together.
I mean, other students, were they helping each other? I mean, self-help?
Oh yeah, I think individually they were doing that.
Oh, good.
Yes, I think individually they were doing. But we studied Paul, Aqua, myself, and Dixon. and we were studying together. And there were some small boys also. C.B. Annan, J.T. Dawson, they were also studying together. They were the youngest in the class, yes.
Okay. I learned you formed the association. So through your own work, what made you form the association?
We want oneness. Everybody was forming us association to help his alma mater. Why don't we also do that? So we also organized ourselves.
What year was that?
This was 1973, 72, 73, 74.
Wow.
And then we did that. And fortunately for me, I was also getting a lot of encouragement from somebody who was an old student, in fact a school prefect of Upokwari. So we were good. And that somebody was the late Vice Marshal Wachi. In fact, even our silver convention, he was appointed by the government to head the government delegation.
Okay. You said we, so who was supporting you then? When you decided to form the association?
The other members of the association, they were supporting. They felt it was a better choice.
Who were those people?
Oh, people like Paul,
Piviansa.
A young man. Another one at SUA those days. I've forgotten their names, but they threw their weight behind me to organize the old students.
So, in what ways were you able to do that? The telephone was not.
By telephone.
You just calling each other.
And of course, in the afternoons, we close at 1:30. I could also call on them in their various offices.
Where did it?
Sleepy means was one, and there was another one called Vincent Minsa, and then there was another one at SEO Motors. I forgot his name. Amu, I think Amu or something. Or Amu and Amu Minsa. They were excellent. Yes.
Where did you have your first meeting?
Can I remember? These days I become an old man.
Yeah.
So, but we were meeting as Christ the King.
Christ the King.
That was where we were meeting.
Around 1972, 73, 74, yes. That's where we were meeting.
And then it all culminated in the Silver Convention. The Silver Convention was a big congregation of our boys. Big congregation.
Any pictures? No. Any document?
For all that I know, we had the Silver Convention.
Let's continue. The Silver Convention. Okay, what was the strength of the association, the members? When you go for meetings like this?
Oh, when we went for meetings, there were I've forgotten, Dr. Something was also with us. Our lady is even dead. I don't know whether he's been buried. He used to be the head of the of this bank. I forgot his name. He is an son. Doctor. I've forgotten his name. But you know, contributions were not coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But the day we met at St. John's, they poured in thousands with their contributions.
That's why you had a silver convention.
Yeah, that's
right. Tell me a little bit about the silver convention, if we can.
The silver convention was a congregation of old boys. We had a meeting, we broke into committees, and then everybody brought in his report. And then that was Saturday, and then everything we did, the government appointed a member of the SMC to supervise what was going on. And the member was the late George Yobwatin, who incidentally also was an old student of Opokwari. So he was the government's representative, you know, and then we had a speech day in the afternoon, and we carried it up with a church service the next morning. Yes. Then the church service was presided over by the late Bishop Israel. Yes. It was a big.
What was the idea behind Silver Convention?
Oh, Silver Convention was to meet old faces. You know, it was a marvelous.
Old faces and network. To meet old faces and network.
Yes. Oh, this man, Dr. Something. I've forgotten his name. He was also behind me. He used to be the managing director of ADB. Crunchy?
Oh, he passed.
Yes.
I was at the funeral.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Dr. Crunchy.
Yes.
At Asen.
Uh-huh.
I was there.
Oh, I see. Crunchy.
Asenkran, yes. Dr. Crunchy, okay. Quintry, then Quintry was also a member of the, okay. Nana Quintry.
Mm-hmm. They come from Asenkran.
Yes.
Just up there, there's a school, and that was where we gathered for the mother's funeral. I remember one rascally person went to him and said, "Yeah, if you say you have incurred any heavy debt over your mother's funeral, we will sit down and scrutinize all the donations you have received. You have received too many donations. Don't come and tell anybody that you get too many gifts your mother's funeral." So, yes. I didn't know when he was buried. But he was a nice guy. But the Silver Convention, you know, the high point was the speech and press giving day of the Saturday preceding the church service to close to everything. I remember when they were going to the altar, Father Bob. You remember Father Bob?
Yeah, no, I don't remember Father Bob.
He was in a celebrant's vestment. Bishop Yeso told him, Father, if you join me for the service, you must go and change your vestment just before you join me. And I'm waiting for you. Hey, Daddy, Father Bob, Abba. I don't know where the sweat was coming from. Oh, my Lord is too something. So I could go and say the mass in my chasuble like that. But you know, Jesus was a very strict one. Extremely strict. Extremely strict. And he ordered him to change his vestment before they go to the altar.
I see.
And then later on, when he was blessing, his responses, the small boys couldn't answer his responses, so can the church in sports can take the responses for my blessing.
The church was held at the school.
Yes. Oh, it was, I don't know, it was a big function.
What was the strength of that convention? The members numbering about 100,000, 500 during the Silver Convention.
Uh-huh.
What was the number?
Oh, I can't be precise on the number, but sizable number of
saints.
Sizable.
From all parts of Ghana, all parts of the world.
All parts of Ghana.
Wow.
All parts of Ghana.
Publicity, how were you able to publicize that Silver Convention?
You know, I was the director of publications at the time in the armed forces. And I was using my influence to do most of the publications. Yes.
Okay. In the dailies.
Yes.
Then many people read newspapers then,
yes,
so they will see it.
Oh, it was very well patronized.
Was there a dinner and prize giving day during the
the speech day, prize giving day. Yes. I do not remember, but I think we also had a dinner.
Okay, I guess we'll end it here.
Okay.
I'm going for the